What's up, Taiwan? I'm Reece Ayers with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. 13 Chinese warplanes have entered Taiwan's air defense identification zone, the most since the national elections. The Defense Ministry says those were among 33 planes, 2 balloons and 6 Navy ships operating around Taiwan. That's one of the highest numbers in months. Taiwan's military says it closely monitored the intrusion. One of Taiwan's largest civil defense groups is holding a class on what to do in the event of a missile strike. Our reporter Jaime Okan went to see what participants learned.
What do you do in the event of a missile attack? Well, that's exactly what these people are training to do in this park in Taipei. Over 100 people are taking part in this civil missile defense exercise, which teaches citizens how to find shelter, how to care for the wounded, basically how to survive. These classes are held roughly once a month all around Taiwan. Now, some focus on civil defense and first aid, and others on combating disinformation. Now, the organizers of this drill is the Kuma Academy. They're one of Taiwan's largest civil defense groups. And the academy wants to train at least 3 million out of Taiwan's 23 million population how to respond to a crisis such as war. Classes like these have gotten more popular since Russia invaded Ukraine back in 2022, as Taiwan faces a similar threat from China, which often operates military aircraft and warships around the island to ultimately bring it under its control. Now, to be clear, the citizens here are not supposed to be trained to be on the front lines. It's more to give them a general sense of what they should do in the event of a crisis, as with more education comes better preparedness. Scott Huang and Jaime Okan in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Customers are rushing for refunds from Taiwan's second biggest airline after pilots announced plans to strike during the Lunar New Year holiday. With less than 2 weeks to go until one of Taiwan's busiest travel periods, a planned pilot strike at EVAA has customers changing plans and scrambling for refunds.
我就是来改票的，就是想说安全嘛，不要到时候在那边一直等7上8下的。
对普遍一般旅客来讲，都会担心这个问题。顾虑是因为他们家时段比较好，对，所以还是没有办法。
Taiwan's Transport Ministry predicts that a strike over Lunar New Year could disrupt 15,000 travelers a day. And with long-haul flights from Europe and North America being affected, that could leave many Taiwanese hoping to get home to their families stranded abroad.
飞不出去的话，第14条我们就以那个收取行政规费跟一些必要的费用，可能是住宿的费用、餐食、交通，然后机票是全额退费。如果是像滞留在外站的话，我们就妥善在外站先安排好住宿，然后尽量做回程的处理。
The union also announced a strike for Tomb Sweeping Festival in March, another major holiday in Taiwan. For months now, union pilots and EVA have locked horns over safety regulations and pay, and there's slim hope that a deal can be reached before the Lunar New Year.
其实工会他们也是希望20%哈，这个部分现在很难达到共识。的确，在这次的劳资双方的态度都比较强硬哈。 所以的确，在这个沟通，想要达成共识的这个过程比较辛苦。
Solo travelers have already begun asking for refunds, though group passengers are unable to apply until official notice of the strike is given, as the union has currently only announced plans to strike.
这样子的一个预告，等于是没预告一样。 因为它的预告的时间相当长，这样的还是呢，让这个消费者呢和旅客呢是真的很难去做一个因应的措施啊。
The pilots' union have said they'll provide at least 24 hours notice before any strike begins. But many travellers are opting to play it safe and getting their refund requests in early. Taiwan People's Party Chair Ko Wen-je is calling for consensus in his party's vote for legislative speaker.
这种重大投票没有团建团组，抓到一次就开除党籍啊，你的立委资格就没有了。最好是下礼拜一啊，越早越好，至少大家有时间去思考嘛。
The TPP won 8 seats in the legislature in the January 13 elections. But with no party securing a legislative majority, the TPP's vote is critical in deciding who the next speaker will be. Ke is asking the Kuomintang Speaker candidate Han Kuo-yu and the Democratic Progressive Party's candidate Yeo Si-kun to clarify their stances on the TPP's proposals to reform the legislature. The newly elected legislature will open on February 1st, when it will vote for a new speaker and deputy speaker. The pro-Taiwan leader of Tuvalu has lost his seat in national elections. Initial results from Friday's vote show Prime Minister Kasei has not been re-elected as lawmaker, meaning he can't run for PM. The winning lawmakers will hold a secret ballot for Prime Minister next week. Tuvalu's representative to Taiwan had warned that the country could switch recognition to China after the vote. The Palestinian Ambassador to the UN has praised the World Court's ruling in the case accusing Israel of genocide in Gaza. He says governments around the world are working to ensure the orders are enacted.
It is a historic day, and we are in close collaboration and consultation with South Africa. In fact, we met with them in Kampala at the level of foreign ministers, and they instructed, and we agreed with them, that once the ICJ adopt the provisional measures, the two delegations of the State of Palestine and South Africa will coordinate in New York as to what needs to be done.
Mansour's statement comes after the International Court of Justice ordered Israel to prevent genocide against Palestinians. Although the ruling stopped short of ordering an end to the military conflict in Gaza, the court's orders would be difficult to achieve without a ceasefire. The court also called on Hamas, the militant group that runs Gaza, to release the remaining hostages captured during the attacks that started the war. Taking Taiwan's strength in tech overseas has been a challenge. As the country looks to become more than just an exporter, education and industry leaders from the US state of Arizona and Taiwan are working to make the most of their growing partnership to support this transformation. Joyce Tseng reports.
Taiwan's undoubtedly a global leader in semiconductors, the chips that power everything digital. Its biggest chip maker, TSMC, makes over 90% of the most advanced ones here in Taiwan. But expanding that dominance overseas has been a challenge. That's why programs like this here are trying to solve that. It's a pioneering executive business course meant to set up Taiwanese businesses for global success. It's designed by a top-ranking American business school in Arizona and Stan Shi, the founder of Taiwanese computer giant Ayers. Shi is no stranger to the multinational world and is also here to give a special lecture. He hopes next generation of entrepreneurs will keep elevating Taiwan's global brand.
Now, Taiwan have a good technology, especially in semiconductor. Of course, it's still a long way to go because we need more friends in various countries to help us to change our image and also co-create value for the local market.
Recreating a heavy tech industry overseas will take more than just highly skilled engineers and technicians. It will take a certain mindset, which is hard to teach and master. But with chips set to become a $1 trillion industry, leaders from both Arizona and Taiwan are banking on strengthening their partnership to secure a solid slice of that pie. Devin Tsai and Joyce Sun in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
India's award of a civilian honor to the CEO of Taiwanese manufacturer Foxconn was not politically motivated. That's according to an Indian Foreign Ministry source who told TaiwanPlus that the decision was based on Foxconn's economic contributions and had nothing to do with any other country. On Thursday, Young Liu was awarded the Padma Bhushan, India's third highest civilian honor. It is rare for a non-citizen to receive the award, and some saw it as a deliberate snub to China by the Indian government. Foxconn is set to make investments worth $1.6 billion in the country by 2025. The world's third biggest emitter of greenhouse gases, India, is quickly expanding its renewable energy capacity. Sally Jensen takes a look at the dilemmas caused by the transition.
Rising in the salt desert in western India, near the border with Pakistan, is what's set to be the world's largest renewable energy park. Covering some 730 square kilometres, around the size of Singapore, the sprawling expanse of solar panels and wind turbines will be visible from space. It's meant to be operational by 2027 and generate 30 gigawatts of renewable energy annually, enough to power nearly 18 million Indian homes. That's just over 3% of housing stock here, but marks an important step as the world's most populous country transitions to producing energy from low-carbon sources.
There will be a need for coal even moving ahead, but the greater thrust will be on clean energy. The Adani Group mirrors India's ambitions and hopes and strategy.
The Adani Group, the conglomerate behind the project, has the largest and most diverse renewable energy portfolio in India. But its growth was fueled by the mining and burning of coal, which is the main cause of the country's chronic air pollution and contributes to global heating. Skeptics say the park is a way for the company's billionaire founder, Gautam Adani, to future-proof his fortune as the world tries to reduce its reliance on coal, oil and gas. And there could be ecological impacts.
Any project, however useful, if you put it in the wrong place, is going to create problems. And because the ecology of this area is very sensitive, and a lot of people of this region depend on the ecologies of this region.
Long-time residents of nearby Kavda, whose village the renewable energy park will be named after, are waiting to see how the mega project will affect them.
तो हमारी ये एक मांग है कि इतना बड़ा प्रोजेक्ट या इतनी बड़ी उद्योग यहाँ आ रहे हैं तो यहाँ के लोगों को उसकी लाभ मिलना चाहिए। यहाँ क्या होता है कि बाहर के लोगों को हिलाता है, बाहर के लोग थोड़े सस्ते पड़ते हैं।
The villagers here know that the completion of this mega project will mean a transformation in their way of life. And though officials believe this will also transform the country, there are those who doubt it's a long-term fix to a greener future. Dolphine Chen and Sally Jensen for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's first electronics-sniffing dog has made his debut to the press, showing off how his super schnoz can help local police. Our reporter Philip Prasad explains.
A common compliment for many dogs, but for 2-year-old Wafer here, it means much more. Unlike other working dogs here in Taiwan, Wafer is the country's first electronics-sniffing canine. His job is to detect electronic devices such as cell phones, flash drives, and crypto wallets that may contain criminal evidence. He identifies the devices by catching the scent of a chemical coating. U.S. non-profit organization Operation Underground Railroad donated Wafer to Taiwan in August last year.
We cannot detect the odor that is emitting from everybody here has a cell phone. Everybody, so this odor is everywhere. So we need this dog to focus, to smell this very faint odor. So yeah, we will withhold food, and they want that food so bad that they can focus their scent to detect this.
Since arriving in Taiwan, Wafer's proved he has what it takes to sniff out suspicious electronic devices. To date, he has taken part in 3 big criminal investigations.
本署也会持续在跟美方就这个打击跨国犯罪各个全方位的这些合作。
Canines like Wafer are rare. There are only 3 electronics-sniffing dogs in Asia, including Thailand and Malaysia.
如果说真的有需要的话，请他们再做第2次的捐赠。他比较有这个先进的这个想法，他们的培训也比较有经验。过去的台湾的这些训练呢，没有针对这一个的部分在做训练。
With Officer Wafer now on the case, it'll be harder for criminals to smuggle contraband into the country. Patrick Chen, Sandy Chi, and Philip Broussard for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Before we go, feast your eyes on these plum blossoms in full bloom in eastern Taiwan's Hualien County. I'm Reece Ayers. Take care and see you next time.